So very, very warm welcome to all of you lovely ladies and guys here. Thank you so much for joining in today. It's super awesome to welcome all of you here on a Sunday evening. And we have with us dear Anita Kataria, who is, I'm going to be talking more about who she is and what she's done and why she's here as we go along. To give you a little bit of a structure to today's presentation, I'm going to very quickly in 5 minutes talk to you about what Moolah is and what we do at Moolah, and then I'll introduce Anita to you and then hand over the stage to Anita to talk about real estate investments as an asset class. That's the topic of discussion today. And a very, very warm welcome to all of those people who are here for the very first time on Moolah and attending this webinar. We hold these webinars every month where we call subject matter experts. And Anita is one such subject matter experts on real estate who we've invited today. Very quick introduction about Moolah for all of you who've not heard of it or who've come to know about it for the first time. Yeah, so Moolah for Women is a platform for financial freedom for women, and it's by women. The whole idea behind Moolah is that now you don't have any more reason to fear. It's a financial literacy platform that is designed specially for women. It has a unique approach to make finance simple, fun, jargon-free, and accessible so that the audience, and specifically women, can gently get introduced to the world of finance and start taking charge of their finances from a position of knowledge. So no more reason to fear. It's a platform where we make finance really simple for all of you. Moolah, who is it for? It's for kids if they want to improve their life skill about money at an early stage. It's for young adults who want to start managing their money from the very beginning. It's for working professionals who want to start getting confident about managing their money. It's for homemakers if they want to start feeling financially independent and start being a part of the money decisions in their families. It's for young women, it's for retired women, and it's also for womenpreneurs who also want to learn business finance. We have a tribe of over 4,000 people. We've impacted over 4,000 people and have a tribe of over 1,000 people in this as a part of Moolah. Moolah started in the year 2020, in July of 2020, and we've impacted over 4,000 women, shifting their mindsets to make them feel more in charge, worthy and deserving, empowering them to become equal stakeholders in financial decision-making, supporting them by making them a part of a community of like-minded women and transforming them to become smarter, happier, and more liberated. And of course, confident. We also have do workshops for younger kids and adults where we help them increase their understanding about money earlier and provide them a safe environment to ask questions so that they can feel empowered to start talking and managing their money from a young age. The Moolah courses are designed for women. There are two courses. There's an essentials course, which is the basic course, and there's an advanced course. Like we said, it's designed for women. These are both 3-month courses. They're delivered over WhatsApp. They're just a 2 to 5 minutes per read per day, which means you do not have to disturb your daily routines to be a part of the Moolah course. Every week, we have a live interaction and a Q&A session where we talk with where we discuss what we've sent in the group with the members. And if there are any questions, we take them at that point in time. As a part of the 3-month course, there are also 3 masterclasses where I cover broad topics and go deeper into those topics. There are monthly quizzes. And the whole idea about this course is for the women to shed away their fears and start feeling confident about managing their money. To make it more affordable for people who find, and you know, depending on what works for you, we have 4 options and you can explore amongst the 4 options, which are from affordable and premium categories. The silver and the gold are self-learning ones where we have pre-recorded sessions along with the course content, and the platinum and the platinum light courses are where we have live interactions with me. So as a coach, you will have live interactions with me in the platinum and the platinum light programs. This is what a little bit of a framework is. That duration, they're all 3-month courses except the platinum light one. The posts are delivered over WhatsApp. There's live mentoring as a part of the platinum and the platinum light classes. There are monthly live master classes. Here, there are pre-recorded sessions. The Ask Me Anything is available for everybody. We also have a 1-hour one-on-one coaching as a part of the Platinum and the Platinum Light sessions, and there's a community and tribe membership available for everybody. And the price ranges are from 10,000 up to 30,000 for different programs. We also do one-on-one coaching where you can deep dive into various topics of your interest or get personal clarity about your own finances or understand your portfolio better. We also organize workshops for target groups, whether it's for organizations or kids or community. So if you want to tailor make some content related to financial literacy for your particular target group, then we are happy to even organize those kinds of workshops for you. A little bit of introduction for me and about me and Ritu. I am a financial life coach, founder of Moolah for Women with 30 years of experience, work with banks and corporates, and I'm passionate about empowering women. My co-founder Ritu, who's here, also has an MBA, 30 years of experience. She's currently an organic farmer and an angel investor, and is also passionate about empowering women across the globe. We, like Anita, invite a lot of subject matter experts. We've invited various experts in the past on various topics, which could be finance related, mindset building, business and entrepreneurship. We also do book reviews and economic awareness, and of course, topics like women empowerment. So these are some of the other guests who we have invited in the past. We also hold corporate events. Like we said, we hold webinars and workshops for corporates and women-centric forums, and these are customized to the individual requirements of the organizations and the forums, and these are some of the organizations where we've conducted workshops. For women to start acting upon their knowledge, once they've acquired the knowledge, we've collaborated with trusted industry partners on in various fields, whether it's investing or insurance or legal issues, making of wills, tax planning, financial planning, and more. And the idea of it is that women should start actually being able to act upon the knowledge that they have acquired through Moolah. These are some of the things which our tribe members have said, that they feel more confident, they feel more financially independent, they feel more equipped, they understand money better, their structure and sensibility with money has improved, and some of these other things. So yes, if you want to create impact, or if you want to join our courses or book a one-on-one coaching session or a workshop for your audience, then please reach out to us. This is my personal phone number, the WhatsApp message number where you can WhatsApp me. This is the company number, and there is also an email here which you can use to contact us. We are set up, our company set up in Gurgaon, and we're available across social media under the name #Moolah for Women. So that's very quickly about Moolah. You can always reach out to me if you have any questions, or of course, email to us. So with that, thank you all once again for being here. And I'm going to very quickly introduce Anita to all of you. Ms Anita Kataria is born and brought up in Mumbai and is a die-hard Indian at heart. By qualification, she's a lawyer, but she forayed into sales and marketing since she is a die-hard people's person. She has a journey spanning 37 years in real estate and loves being with people. Her work mantra is to enjoy what she does and let her work speak for itself. And she believes that accolades will come on their own. People, food, and music is something that keeps her going each day of her life. Anita listens to all genres of music and is also a fan of all kinds of vegetarian food. So very, very warm welcome to you, Anita. And the stage is set for you here today. And excited to learn more about real estate investment as an asset class. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Meeta. Thank you all the lovely people here with me today. Welcome to all of you. Meeta and me have been planning this talk for a while now, and it's finally happened. I'm looking forward to interacting with you all, coming from various backgrounds, very diverse backgrounds, I heard, different geographies, age groups. Why don't some of you post your city of residence? It would be nice to know that. And I'm sure I'm talking to a set of people who have essayed several roles in their lives as parents, caretakers, professionals. And I myself, as she said, have been a caretaker and professional for the last 35 years of my life. So welcome to all of you. And I'll begin this journey by saying that when we talk about real estate, let me take you back to your childhood. You know, as children, whether we stayed in the mountains or beach homes or metros, we all created something, that mitti ka ghar, house of cards, Lego. I mean, that is the importance we all have in our lives for a home. So some of you probably went to design one, some constructed homes, some of you made your house your home. Some of you must have already dealt in real estate investments. I sold those for a living. In our growing up years, you've probably heard about real estate from real estate conversations surrounding family and friends, which was someone's bought a farm, someone's bought a shop here, someone's bought land somewhere, someone's buying a home, so on and so forth. So real estate is a conversation which we all have been a part of. With today's discussion, I just hope I can give my thoughts and help you with some definitive thoughts on why real estate is one of the key asset classes across economies. So let me start with a small presentation, and I hope you all are ready. So I'm just going to share my presentation on the screen, and what we could do is we could, can you please hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, please continue. Sorry, there was a resonance in the middle. Yeah.
Okay. So I will just share a few slides, and at the end of the session, I'll be happy to take some questions and take you through these slides with the time that we have. Some people here in the audience, I think, may already know about real estate. Some may be absolutely new to real estate. So what does real estate have to offer to you? So like any other investment, conventional investment, real estate also offers you return on investment, security, and liquidity. Now, as homemakers, as professionals, as caretakers, we all understand what an investment should provide to us. So basically, we focus on the family and its future, and whether it will give me a good return at the end of the cycle. Furthermore, we also divide our investments in the following manner. Some provide monthly returns, some annual return, and some will provide us a return on maturity. I'm sure all of you made some investments in FDs, in post office savings account, government bonds, mutual funds, and I'm sure you guys have achieved returns in the manner that you started off in. So real estate investment also falls in the same category, except the first home. The first home is very aspirational. It is a buy which has an emotional connect. And that is where we don't really see any security or return on investment, and maybe we may actually land up paying a premium for the same. So what helps us in this whole cycle, there is on the left hand side, you'll see something which I put on as review. When I say review, like every other asset class or investment, review is very essential periodically to help you achieve all of the above, that is security, return, and liquidity. Now, I've been investing personally in real estate for a long time, though not because I am from the industry, but because I have seen these cycles that has provided me all of the above. So how do I go about with it? Well, being a professional and knowing about the industry, I still look up data from time to time. So that's my way of reviewing. So recently I was going through a study from this portal, PropTech FinTech portal called nobroker.com. And it provided a very, in short, if I were to say to you, it provided a very in-depth study of how the real estate investment has moved over a decade. And I'll share the same in short with you. It says that residential property values. Now I'm talking only of India. I'm focusing on India and 6 metros in India here.
Headphones nahi aate hain.
So it says that residential property values in the country's top 6 cities have increased by 10 to 15%. This marks
Please mute
highest
yourself, people.
appreciation rates in a decade, and this is driven by low inventory, higher interest, and rising rental demand. The rents across the metro cities have shown an increase. This demand, which has driven up residential prices in major housing markets. For example, Hyderabad and Bengaluru have seen the highest annual return for 2 bedrooms, which is at a 15% and a 13.5% respectively. Mumbai in the same category saw a 10.3% increase. Delhi NCR saw an average of about 12% and Pune being at 11%. So while we discuss real estate and what it offers us, we also would look at, like every other asset or investment, what should be the tenure in real estate. There have been a lot of discussions that I've had with across sections of people where the question is always whether it should be long term or short term. Now, both of them have their pros and cons. We'll discuss them today very briefly because real estate is a very exhaustive subject. I mean, we can go on and on, but I've tried to I've tried to bring out the essence of the differentiation between a long-term and a short-term investment in real estate. So in a long-term investment, what should one look for? In my personal view, ideally, I would, look at real estate as a long-term investment. The ideal cycle should be 5 years. Well, the short-term cycles have given returns in some cases, but not before 3 years. So an ideal cycle would be 5 years for a real estate investment product. In the short-term tenure, one has to remember that you not only have to be very agile, you have to be well-informed, and you have to be a very active investor who's keeping track of micro markets where they've invested so that the exit is at the right time. So let's say, for example, you're aware or you're in touch for a particular city where a policy change would bring about a fair increase in prices or give a very good return on your ancestral investment, for example, then yes, you could get returns which could go even up to 5x and beyond. But for that you need to have a risk appetite. So let's look at an ideal scenario of a long-term investment. Look at it as a long-term investment. What do you look for when you're looking for long-term? So one needs to study the infra growth of a particular city or a particular micro market in that city. The potential that that micro market has, I will be giving you examples shortly. And your need to exit. At what point of time do you want to exit? What is your planned exit? Because each one of us, when we get into an investment, we plan our tenure, we plan the return we want. We are more or less sure about how much we want to invest, at what time we want to exit. So I'll give you some examples of particular cities, but I, being a Bombayite, I would want to take Mumbai as an example. So in 2003, now as you all know, Mumbai is divided into 5 zones: the north of Mumbai, which is called the suburbs; the south of Mumbai, which is called Sobo; the west, east, and the central suburbs. Mumbai in 2003 saw the opening of the Western Express Highway. Now, this was a game changer for people to come into the eastern side. Western Express Highway was on the eastern side of Mumbai, which is Andheri East, Goregaon East, Borivali East, and which the connectivity of the same helped people realize 3 to 5x returns in that particular location in the 3 years from the commissioning of the Western Express Highway. The Worli Sea Link, as I'm sure most of you have traveled to Mumbai, the Worli Sea Link, which opened in 2009, suddenly saw that the gap of the prices between Bandra and Worli reduced. Worli and Bandra were at par in terms of the price per square foot. There emerged a suburb called Lower Parel during that time, which saw 3 to 5x return by 2013, 2014. And if you see Lower Parel today, it's almost matching the prices of Worli. Similarly, the Santa Cruz Chembur Link Road, the BKC connector, which reduce the distances for a person traveling from the suburbs to say Chembur on the eastern side to Navi Mumbai as well. 2023 end, probably December end or beginning Jan, would see the opening of the Mumbai Trans Harbour Link. I would like all of you to just go online and look up the Mumbai Trans Harbour Link and its connectivity. Now, this is going to be a connector which will help the South Mumbai people to connect to places like Navi Mumbai. It'll shorten the distance. So the next 3 years would see a boom or a rise in the prices of Navi Mumbai as a location. It has brought Navi Mumbai closer. It's going to be technically Navi Mumbai. Besides, we all know that Mumbai is going to have its next airport in Navi Mumbai. So if you were to, for example, if you were to plan your investment in Navi Mumbai today, then yes, you need to understand that after 5 years, sure to get a 3 to 5x return. So this is how you plan your tenure when you're looking at an investment in real estate. Also, people who stay in Gujarat, people who known about Gujarat, or a lot of NRIs who invest in Gujarat, I would say Ahmedabad should be your next location. The Mumbai-Ahmedabad bullet train is work under progress, and that would impact the Ahmedabad markets more than the Mumbai markets. Ahmedabad has been a city which has primarily developed with the local people taking interest in that city. This would bring in NRI investments into Ahmedabad. It would create a market for job opportunities. It would create a market for many businesses shifting there. So one could look at Ahmedabad in the future. My next slide talks about what do you need to watch for? How do you evaluate your investments? So when you're making your conventional investments, probably you already know about them and therefore you're comfortable. For real estate, what would you need to watch out? What do you need to look at? With RERA having come in India in 2016, this industry, the real estate industry, has experienced a lot of regulatory being in control. There is transparency. So what would you look for next? Obviously, the developer, the track record of the developer, the delivery schedule of the developer, the execution cycles of the developer. What has he delivered in the past? The quality that he's delivered in the past. And also, once you're doing that, what you need to understand is the strength of the city. Within the city, like I said earlier as well, the location in that city, the micro market of a particular location in that city. It's once you've done, probably you've done a lot of homework, or you put down all your points when you're making an investment, and you've identified the city, you've identified the location, you've identified the investment amount that you want to make, and you've taken a call on whether you want to be long-term, short-term, you want to be an active investor, you want to be an armchair investor, then it calls for some actionables that you need to put in place in order to see that your investment gives you a good return. In my previous slides, I mentioned that you need to understand the peculiarity of a city. I'll take you through a few examples of different cities where the price pattern has happened because of its peculiarity. Now, let's take the example of Bangalore. By the way, real estate is all about location. In every city, even where you're staying, whether you're staying in Dubai, whether you're staying in Mumbai, you're staying in any other city, each city has its peculiarities, has a location which will either in the future command a premium because a policy change or an infrastructure development is going to change the price point of that location, or there is growth in terms of job opportunities, your retail is there, the schools are there, conveniences are there, which bring a demand in the residential segment. Now let's take Bangalore. With the ever expanding IT parks, the residential market of Bangalore, if you go by the data also, whether it's commercial or residential, have seen an upside. The rental yields have improved. The demand for residential segments across Bangalore have seen a rise. Delhi NCR, we all know the growth of Gurgaon and Noida. The Dwarka Expressway shortened the distances for people living in Delhi and setting up new townships in DLF and in Noida and Gurgaon. With everyone hearing the name of DLF, I'm sure you guys have heard about the growth pattern of Delhi and Gurgaon more particularly so. Let's take Chennai. Chennai is known as the Detroit of India. So you can understand that the job opportunities are plenty in Chennai, which has seen a sustained, consistent demand in the residential segment. Hyderabad has very good infrastructure. It's a city with a vision for the future. It has seen a steady rise of IT parks, commercial, retail, residential, with a result that the real estate demand has increased in Hyderabad. Mumbai, we are all aware, is the financial hub. And no matter what the cost of living, despite it being high as compared to the other metros of India, has seen a consistent demand pattern in residential, commercial, retail, across all asset classes, basically. Pune, over the years, has established itself as the next IT hub, and all micro markets across Pune have seen job opportunities, and it's one of the favorite investment places for the NRIs that I am known and who have invested in Indian real estate. Now that we have understood that there are actionables which one needs to look at, and you have identified the location and you've done the homework that you need to do, probably identified the developer, you've identified everything. So you would say, now what next? How does one go about it? So my suggestion to you would be that in whichever location you are, take some time off if you really want to make a real estate investment in the location that you are, wherever you are. Just study the price pattern of, let's say, 2 buildings away from you. How have the prices moved? I mean, you will find peculiarities like one building's price may be different from the other. The reason could be that maybe one has, for example, the sea link view and the other has the roadside view. So you would have seen a pattern that has existed, a demand that has existed. Then the next step would be take a location or choose a location in your city, 30 minutes driving distance from your home. Identify what is happening in that location. I mean, look at the conveniences that have sprung up, the malls that have sprung up. Like Thane in Mumbai is a micro market which is seeing huge development, whether it's schools, hospitals, malls, residential development, IT parks, industrial development. So if you look at that micro market as an example, you will see that within Thane itself, if you take Thane as the center point and you go 30 minutes to 1 hour, you will find different micro markets catering to different needs, the city dwellers. And there has been a consistent increase in demand. So check out that when you want to make an investment. It will help you be in the shoes of the purchaser. So if it's just an investment, an end use, because if it's an end use, what we generally land up doing is sometimes we land up paying a premium because you want to be close to your social infrastructure. So if you're an end user, your homework would be different, slightly different. But if you're an investor, you need to follow certain SOPs, I would say, to arrive at your conclusion before making an investment. So once you've chosen, let's say, or identified a location, and you understood the growth possibilities of that location, you will yourself understand what to expect in terms of ROI. What would be the liquidity? Because you've identified all your pointers. So you would know that this investment would give me what return? What is my point of exit? Which developer do I want to look at? Also, besides that, obviously one relies on the agent that you are with. He's maybe your trusted agent. He's helped you in the past. Maybe you know someone with a developer, you know the KYC of the developer. So even if you are not an active participant and you haven't been able to follow certain processes, it's okay. And if you've got your data correct, you still can and should look at real estate as an investment class. I have probably tried to cover all the points that I could, and I think I've taken 15, 20 minutes of your time. So, well, I would like to invite questions from the audience if there are any.
Are there any questions that anyone has? This has been kind of a bird's eye view of what to look for in terms of investments when you come to real estate, because real estate is a very, very vast topic. And it's something which all of us can't cover in
One
in
session.
one single session, right? It's just impossible. So I'd love for all of you to take time to ask Anita of any questions that you have, in terms of real estate. And there's certain things, if she can answer right now, she'll do that. Or else she'll get back to you in case those, there are answers which she doesn't have right now. So please feel free to unmute yourself and ask the questions.
Anita, hi.
Hi, that's Archana, right?
Yes.
Hi, Archana.
Hi. So I wanted to ask about selling. So I have a property in Delhi. We're looking to sell it, and we feel that we are being underpaid. So the key components, of course, would be to study the market, understand. And since we don't live there, it's tougher. So we want to rely upon an agent. So how would you go about identifying a trusted agent? And then Delhi, for some reason, we have this perception in mind कि भाई agent trusted कैसे मिले?
Which part of the world do you stay in?
I stay in Dubai.
Okay. So Archana, it's like this. You just said that, it's a matter of trust. Now, real estate actually is an investment which really works on trust. Identifying an agent, I would ideally suggest that there are, I don't know the size of your property and the location, but there are consultants today like Anurag, Xanadu, Guardians. They are aggregators. They have mandates to sell properties across India. That's one way of finding your authenticated agent, or you approach the IPCs. The IPCs are Cushman and Wakefield, Jones Long LaSalle. As you said, that it's difficult for you to trust which agent to approach. Of course, if you have friends and family, you would probably get references from them. But in today's market, you have agencies like Anurag, Xanadu, Guardians, who are, who have mandates across India with some of the top developers. So you could look at listing your property with them if they do list individual properties. That's one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is that you have the international property consultants who have residential verticals. That is Jones Long LaSalle, BRE, Cushman Wakefield.
It's difficult to understand the names and.
What
I will share these names with all of you later. So these are basically aggregators, and these are big consultants who help in not only selling parcels for you. So if you have your land or if you have your apartments, you can go through them and they can help you sell your apartments and give you a good price for it. Or they also help in aggregation of land. So if you are looking at parcels of land and you want to get it aggregated, these are the people. So these are consultants for real estate. I'll share the names of some of these with all of you later, which I'll get from Anita. So yes, Anita, please continue. So that's one way, right? Like Anita said,
So
that you can reach out to them.
So Archana, that is one way of looking at it. And if you have some time, ideal would be to just come down. Obviously, come down yourself if you have the time. It just helps in, understanding why I should get a particular price. Just understand, get a feel of the market. I mean, I think due diligence in this case is the best. It makes sense. Yeah.
We are planning to, but
Yeah.
also want to do some study and research before we just come down.
So what you could do is offline, take my details from Neeta, and if you can identify and give me the details of your location, etc., I could probably guide you with some good agents there. Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Archana. Thank you.
Hi, Anita. My name is Jyoti.
Hi, Jyoti.
I based in Bangalore. What's your thought on investing in downsize apartment, which is actually used now for older age people and renting it out?
So are you trying to, what is your question? Is your question that is it worth investing in senior homes? Is that your question?
Yes, I mean, yes, downsize homes basically.
So downsize homes in a senior citizens living complex, or you're talking about just downsize homes? Because every city doesn't have downsize homes. I mean, Bombay would have. So what is the question?
Actually, first as an investment, it's as an investment. Which
Jyoti,
currently
I cannot hear
used
you.
for renting and future could be used by myself.
Jyoti, I think
Okay,
you're
am I audible now?
No, you're not audible. So can you repeat your question, please?
Well, investing as an investment, is it a good option to invest?
Which city are you talking about? Bangalore?
Am I audible now? Is it
You're
still?
better. You're better.
Yes.
I lost a lot of your conversation, but are you talking about Bangalore?
Yes, yes.
How far are you from the airport or conveniences like hospitals, etc.?
Around 60 kilometers away from the airport.
And what's the development around there? As in, what is because if you're talking about senior citizens, then one needs to understand that you need to look at least three things here. One is a close by healthcare center, accessibility to a healthcare center. Second is close by conveniences, as in, does it have convenience stores? Does it have your daily needs being addressed close by, or is it within that gated community? I don't know what have you identified, but if it's a gated community which has all the conveniences and it has even social infrastructure, then yes, you should go ahead with your investment.
Okay. So basically what my question is, it's of two things. It's not only as a, like I am going to use that asset. I am going to use that for renting purpose. So is it a worth investment is not, my question is all about.
So as far as I know from the data I have of Bangalore, the rental demand has seen a consistent rise in Bangalore. So I do see that though there would be inventory, the demand would also sustain the inventory, and therefore you would see. But see, residential return on investment, in residential, you don't achieve more than 3 to 4%. So I don't know, what are you looking at? I mean, are you looking at a return beyond 3%? Then you should go for a commercial investment. But since you're using the property or going to use the property in future, if you're happy with a 3 to 4% return, then I think this is the investment you should go for. Because in real estate as an asset class, the residential return never goes beyond a 3%, whereas a commercial gives you 7 to 8%. So it will have to depend on what are you looking at as return on your investment.
Okay, there are two aspects. One is commercial as well as personal use. So as per you, it's when it comes to a personal use, basically residential use, then it's hardly 3-4%. But yeah, when we're looking for commercial purpose, then it's where you had mentioned, right? Initially, it varies from 10% to 15% across different cities in India.
That was the increase. I had said the demand and increase. What I mean when I say that there are two asset classes in real estate: residential, commercial. Commercial could be retail, or commercial could be office space, or in some cities where you could use your residential space as commercial space, then also the return on your investment would vary. If you're taking pure residential investment, the return is a maximum of 3%. But if you're buying a commercial space or a retail space, then your return on investment exceeds 7%, and it could be between 7 and 9%. So what you need to do is, since you're going to be using this property in the future, you need to look at what would be my capital appreciation for that location. B, I'm going to use it in the future. So even if I do get rent, which is giving me a return of 3% today, and I add the capital appreciation at the end of the 3 years or 5 years, whenever you choose to use it, you will see that your ROI would have improved. So that's the way to look at it.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jyoti.
Hi, Anita. Dolly
Hi.
here.
Hi, Dolly.
Yeah. So for me as an investor, if I'm looking,
Hmm.
as an investor, I should. Okay, I have two questions. One is whether I should invest into a new property like the one under construction or the one on with the second-hand ones. And what would be the correct point to sell the property? Because I'm looking purely for investment purpose. So how do I identify my correct period? When do I sell it?
So as I have, if you've gone through my presentation, I have mentioned a couple of things earlier. One of them being that, A, have you identified what is the quantum of investment that you want to make? So let's say if you're a professional who wants to, invest on a monthly basis. So then for you, under construction property would be ideal. So first decide the quantum of investment that you want to make. You want to invest, a hypothetical example, you want to invest 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs, 50 lakhs. So first identify that. Having identified what is the quantum, look at between conventional asset classes, let's say between an FD and real estate, where would I feel more secure? Answer that question to yourself first. Thirdly, once you've identified, after that, go to the city that you want to invest in, because you're a pure investor. So you have to understand what are you looking at as a return on your investment. Do you want 8%, 10%, 12%, 15%? If it is under construction, in any case, if you're looking at, let's say, a cycle of minimum 3 years, because any project that you invest in, where in any of the cities, the ideal cycle for completion of a project, that is from start to finish, would be a minimum of 3 years, going up to 5 years, depending on the height of the building. Once you've selected what is it that you're wanting, that is which metro, which project, which developer, then you can plan whether you're availing of a loan. So here, I think you should sit down with Meeta, because she would help you with the financial aspect of your planning. I can identify for you where you should go, which city you should go, depending on the quantum that you have with you.
Sure.
In your
But
case, a 5-year cycle would be ideal. it would be ideal to look at an under construction, your question number 1. So invest in an under construction project. B, wait for the project to get its OC or be complete before you plan your exit. And see if whichever project you are identifying, look at the surrounding development. Where is it? So let's say if at the end of the 3rd year, not 5th year, you decide that you need the money and you want to exit, the project should be saleable. So that has to be pre-identified. So let's assume there is a school or a convenience coming nearby. That project will definitely command a premium and you'll be able to sell it even before.
Understood. Generally, in general sense, under constructions or the new constructions, like if I look at returns, which is more profitable, like the under construction ones or the second-hand ones, like already resale ones?
So definitely it would be under construction because if it's a second sale, you're putting all your money up, right? If you put all your money up, you either going to rent it and hold on to the asset because you see that the future of that location is very good, and therefore maybe after 3 years you will make 2x or 3x on it. Until then, you'll earn a rental income. So you're seeing appreciation and rental income. But in an under construction, you get the advantage of paying your money over a 3-year cycle. Increases your ROI. It betters your ROI.
That's right. That's right. Sure. Noted. Thank you. Thank you. That helped,
Thank you,
Anita.
Dolly. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask Meeta my contact details. I'll be happy to answer them.
Sure. Sure. Absolutely.
Hi, Anita. Flora here.
Hi, Flora.
Hi. Firstly, thank you for that amazing presentation. It was very concise and helpful.
Thanks, Flora.
And my question was that in Mumbai, I live in Mumbai, so
Okay.
I've seen a lot of buildings or even bungalows go into reconstruction, right? Redevelopment. So if I were a tenant in an old building, which now the society has decided to sell to a developer for them to create a high rise, what am I looking for in terms of so that I don't lose out on a property that I already own? And then what do I look for? What is the offers that the developer is giving me, and what are the things to look for? Because I feel it's kind of getting relevant, at least in Mumbai.
Well, this is a subject which is a little exhaustive. It has deeper nuances, but I mean, I can take that offline with you. But having said that, if your building is going for redevelopment, the reputation of the developer is one of the key factors, very, very key factor in deciding the future of your ownership. Also look at his deliverables in the past. Look at the developer's deliverables. What has he delivered? What is the time frame in which he has delivered? I mean, has he delayed projects? I mean, what is, meet some of the people, if you know in his earlier projects, what has been their experience of dealing with the developer. And secondly would be your legal paperwork. So as a society, I'm sure all of you members would appoint a proper lawyer. So, and of course, a consultant, it's called the PMC, who guides you with what you should get. So what is the developer giving you? So the developer will give you a whole lot of things like, I'm going to give you X additional area. I'm going to give you this much copies. I'm going to, give you this much rent. So all of this, the societies ideally appoint a PMC who guides them through this whole process. He assesses the market for them and he makes them aware of what the market is today in that particular location. So you need a PMC, credible PMC, and you need a credible lawyer to have those interactions and record those, or make a proper document for you, for each one of you. And also where the document should capture that in case of delays, what would be your rights? What would be your compensation? So these are very critical factors in assessing the developer. So the KYC of the developer here is the key.
Right. Okay.
But if you are going through that process and if your building has already shortlisted someone, feel free to call me offline and
Yeah.
I'll help you to whatever
No, I'm
extent
sorry. I
can.
was just, it was a curious question. I'm not in a situation that way, but as you were talking, this kind of came into mind, and I was just like, maybe that question can help others also. But yeah, for
Sure.
sure, definitely. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Flora.
much.
Thank you. Yeah, but yeah, with Bombay going through redevelopment across every lane, I think,
Absolutely.
yeah, I think we would probably be the next ones going through it in our own buildings.
Yeah, I mean, it is possible. Like even my building, it is possible that it might go in like near future. But yeah.
I would just say that even if, let's say, you get some percent less than something that your friend has got from another developer, just make sure that you're with the right developer.
Right.
That's really the key.
Right. No, I completely understand. Thank you.
Thank you, Flora. Thank you. Are there any other questions?
Yeah, this is Ulka here, Anita.
Hi,
Thanks
Ulka.
thanks for the wonderful presentation.
Thank
What
you,
I
Ulka.
wanted
Thank
to ask,
Yeah.
like in Mumbai, as you are aware, there are many pagdi houses.
Hmm.
So, is it this advisable to buy those houses? I mean, what is the current law about pagdi houses?
According to me, well, like I said, real estate being a very exhaustive subject, pagdi houses are not many. There would be probably very old buildings under the pagdi system. You're
But in
talking of
so
probably.
we do have in South Mumbai, we do have quite a few.
I know. Certain locations have, but I'm sure those are all going to come up for redevelopment at some point in time. But I wouldn't suggest that you buy a pagdi house because of the legal nuances. And if you're buying and you're getting a distress sale, then please do get a very good lawyer on board who will be able to guide you through it.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Ulka. Thank you.
So basically, Pakdi house means is something independent house.
No. This is the nature of the property, Jyoti. In Bombay, you have uh, you have these old buildings, many old buildings which were under the pagdi system, where you had a landlord and the landlord built the house and you pay a certain amount to him. It's a very different structure of buying a house.
Okay. So basically, we have RERA. Other than that, what are the other things? Basically, if someone buying not an apartment, let's say a independent house, what are the checks? Like key checks ideally should taken care by individuals
So you're buying
before
an
going to the.
independent. Okay, so you're buying an independent land, or you're talking of buying an independent house within the gated community?
Independent land, not in a gated community. It's individual owners, which generally owned by individual owners.
Well, if you're buying an independent land, then one needs to check the title very thoroughly. So in the title, the main thing would be the PR card. I mean, if the land is actually belonging to the actual owner of the property who's selling it to you. So, like I said again, buying land in India isn't easy. So one needs to have very good due diligence to be able to buy land, to build a house.
And another thing, Anita, I wanted to ask about Mahada houses.
Hmm.
I mean,
What about that?
what is your take? Can we go for it as an investment? Or
So MADA houses are offered by way of lottery, as I understand, right?
no, the resale.
MADA resale has conditions. So you need to check the document of the seller because they have to hold on to the property for n number of years. So you will have to check that document. Is he eligible to sell that property to you? So that is the first check you need to do. And also, ideally, the MADA building quality of the product is not as good. I mean, in the recent years, yes, there have been some good developments by MADA where the quality has been good. So what you need to check is A, the seller should not have a caveat in his document that he cannot sell the property before X date. B is the quality of the product.
Yeah. I think 10 years, that is, after 10 years they can sell.
There was a new change in rule, but I'll have to look that up. I'm not sure if it's 10 years or they've reduced that.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank
Okay,
you.
now we are pretty much on time, like 7:30 already, Anita. So any more questions, or we can take one last question, if any, and then
I have a question, Ritu. Can I ask?
Sure, Priyanka, go ahead.
Yeah, firstly, thank you so much, Anita, for a wonderful session.
Thank you,
And thanks,
Priyanka.
Ritu and Meeti, for arranging this. Yeah, my question, I'll just quickly finish off. My
Yeah.
question was that these days, around Mumbai and Bangalore, of course, the many developers have come with the kind of schemes like we are sell. I mean, they sell NA plots with villa, which is customized.
Hmm.
Okay, so the main thing is that they get into an agreement with, only for the land, and then I think they sign a work contract. They get the registration of a work contract, which by which they escape the RERA thing. So my question was that is it really safe to, because there are many developers, some good, some bad, some average developers. So is it a good idea to go with such projects?
Look, I don't think, depending on the size of the project, so I don't know which project you're referring to, Priyanka, but I don't think they can escape RERA. And if they are in some manner choosing not to go the RERA route, then yes, it would be better to avoid, because the land title needs to be checked thoroughly. In RERA, it would be self-explanatory. It would be there on the website. So the idea here is that when you're buying the land and where the bungalow is going to be made by way of a separate contract, and if you truly want to, because let's say a friend of yours has bought and he's very sure that this developer is good, then what you need to do, the second check would be your legal paperwork.
Okay.
And the payment that you're making to the developer. So when you're buying the land, you do not make the entire payment to him unless he's delivered the house to you. So if you're going for this kind of option, then there are two ways. A, go for a RERA registered project. B, if you're going through with it because someone has referred you and that person knows the developer and has had a good experience, then your title check is very important.
Understood. Because generally what these people do is the project is RERA certified, but that project includes only NA developed plots and the clubhouse and the other amenities. But the thing is that what these people are selling is NA plot with a customized villa. But then I feel sometimes that that customized villa thing that doesn't come under RERA because it is customized. So I think different. So as you have said that a legal check before going ahead is what would really help.
So what you could do, Priyanka, is if you can share with me offline the name of the developer and the project that you're talking about, I can answer your questions in detail. I mean, I'll go through go through the paperwork if you have, and I can advise you accordingly. If you've identified the project.
Okay. So Priyanka,
Yeah, I'm able to. Yeah, I'm able to hear.
Okay. So yeah. So Anita, I think.
Can I ask one more question?
Sure.
Actually, a few years back, we had booked a property in Lonavala. So the thing was that, the legal check, everything was done. And we also got a loan disbursed from SBI and everything was fine. And suddenly we came to know that 2 to 3 of the buildings in that whole complex, they are facing some issues. I mean, some litigations or maybe some agricultural and that forest thing. There are some rules, right? So they fall into that category. So we were really shocked. Yeah. No, not Lavasa. This was in Mada. New Lonavala. I mean, the project was as New Lonavala, and many people lost their money in it. So that's what my concern was, that although everything was done, all the legal checks, everything was done properly, SBI and all big banks were there, they too had disbursed, then how come these issues erupt, after some 2.5 years?
So, from what I've understood, what you said, the only thing that I can say here is that the part of the land on which your project got approved, you have a registered document, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
So that part of the land would have been cleared by the developer, and probably the other part of the land, because every project, sometimes some projects get developed in phases. So maybe for the next phase, he did not take his permissions. He has not cleared certain, certain elements on that land. So then the entire property would come under the same law. But having said that, if your building is already built, have you got OC or is it still under construction?
No, no, no. Actually, when they started, the plinth was done, and then plinth of these two buildings were done. The rest of the five buildings were constructed already. But when the plinth of this buildings was done, so after that this issue came up, and then the construction of these two buildings that stopped. The rest of the project got completed.
So I think looks to me like it's an environment issue. So I will have to study your papers again, Priyanka, to help you out.
Okay, I
It
mean,
seems like it is
yeah.
stuck because of environment clearance, from what I just understand
Understood,
about
understood. So
whatever you've
basically,
told
I
me.
think sometimes it's even, fate, because, although we had
Was,
got it checked, and,
was it
even
a
banks
credible
like SBI,
developer? Priyanka, sorry to
Exerbia.
interrupt you, but was it a credible developer? As in, were you, the KYC of the developer was done?
The KYC of the developer was done, but at that time, when he had put his hands in this project, he had a very good reputation in the market. But we were, to our surprise, after that project, I mean, all the other projects which were under construction, and wherever he had invested his money, all those projects, they faced some of the other issues which were already delivered. Those were good, but those which were in the pipeline and which were yet to be delivered, they faced tremendous issues. I mean, in each and every project. So luckily we got a chance to exit from there. So we invested in another place. I mean, the builder had offered us that, but then I mean, it's like sometimes I feel it's also like a jackpot or a lottery kind of thing. You know, I mean, you can't help it, because this time we were very. I mean, it's not that we were negligent or something, but and sometimes we feel safe that banks are giving. We take loans purposely because bank gets involved, and they double check it, but then I don't know why things go wrong in spite of that.
These issues have been sorted out to a large extent now because of RERA. So that's why when earlier someone asked me whether, well, I think you asked me, right, that whether we should buy NA plots, etc., if it's RERA registered or not. I would still say go for a RERA registered project. It kind of secures your rights as a buyer. So whichever bank is involved, who's lent to the project or lent to you, make sure that the delivery happens, even if it is delayed. So I guess a lot of transparency has come into real estate post RERA. So these issues are slowly going to kind of dissipate over a period of time. That's what I feel.
Yeah, very true. But actually, even the project that I'm talking about, even that was RERA approved. So that was the reason we, went for it. But many people lost
But
their
then you
money in
should
it.
get, if it was RERA approved and the developer has failed, you will get compensation.
No, no, that's what they asked us to shift to some other project,
So you
whichever
got the
was.
compensation, right?
It's
That is,
not
I mean,
about no, no, it's not about the compensation. It was like, see, they were very smart. What they did was they gave everyone an offer that you can shift to their other project, but then they hiked up the price of that project. Although, I
see,
mean, yeah,
now that is something, as far as if you look at it from a legal perspective and from a RERA perspective, since he has given you an option to shift, it's not the matter of price. Since he has given you an option to shift, which means by law, he has done the right thing. So legally,
Absolutely.
you cannot.
Legally, exactly. That's what. So
Legally,
I
he's
mean,
followed the law.
yeah,
So I
exactly,
guess that
exactly.
I wouldn't then say anything about the developer. So
Absolutely.
he's
I mean,
followed the he's followed the law.
yeah, that's but when these things happen, that they give you an offer.
I lost you, Priyanka.
Priyanka, are you there?
From those deals too.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear Priyanka. I think she's gone on mute. So I think that was the last question, Ritu. So,
Yeah. Okay. I would like to thank Anita on behalf of Moolah. Anita, I think it was wonderful and I think it can carry on and on.
yeah, it's a very exhaustive topic. I said that.
Yeah, I know. And in fact, I had 2, 3 questions, but I think I'll reserve them for the next time. So it
Sure.
was lovely. And thank you so much for coming on board for this. And I hope that if anybody has any questions which they would like to ask Anita, we can, with her permission, we can share her contact with you and maybe you can connect offline. Yeah.
Thank you,
And
everyone, for being there today. Thank you, Moolah, for giving me this opportunity. And thank you for being such a lovely audience. I truly enjoyed taking this session on.
okay. Thank
Thank you
you.
very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rita. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.